Hello everyone and welcome back to Fish Den 365. Today we're going to be doing a review of some items that were given to me as samples from Avid Bass Tackle. Now before we get started with this, I want to let everyone know that I am not sponsored by Avid Bass. I'm not sponsored by anybody at the moment, and if I become sponsored by somebody, my viewers, you will be the second to know. But Avid Bass decided to send me some sample products, and they asked for my honest review and opinion, and we're going to be looking at some of those items here on today's video. So before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about price and quality. Generally, the higher you pay for something, the better the quality, and again, the other end of that spectrum is the lower price you pay, the lower the quality generally is. But what we have here is some interesting items from Avid. Avid Bass has really upped their selection. Their website, I think, is now a little easier to use, and they've got a lot more items that they're adding to their selection on their website. And one of those things is a number of tungsten products, tungsten weights of all different various shapes and sizes. Now, before we get into the discussion about the review of the Avid Bass products that I'll be looking at here, I need to talk a little bit about tungsten versus lead. So, as a bass fisherman, I fish all types of worm weights. I fish jigs, I fish football heads, and several years ago I stopped using lead because tungsten came out, and it's been a while now. It's been at least a decade, I'm sure longer. And when tungsten came out, I was one of the ones to try it as soon as it came out. And once you try it, you can't go back to lead. It's just so much better. The problem with tungsten is that it is very expensive. That's the only con if you're looking at pros and cons. The pros far outweigh the cons. Tungsten is much denser than lead. It's much harder than lead. So the advantages of that is that it transmits the bottom so much better than lead does. As a bass fisherman, that is extremely important to know what you're on, what the bottom composition is, and tungsten transmits that. When I'm fishing a tungsten weight, I can tell you whether I'm coming over sand or eelgrass in the sand or rock bottom or clay or whatever the bottom is. That tungsten weight transmits it so well, you know immediately what it is. Lead just can't do that. Lead is a softer metal, and it just doesn't transmit nearly as well because it's not as dense, it's not as hard. The other big advantage about tungsten is because it's denser, you can get a heavy weight for a much smaller size. So a half-ounce tungsten weight versus a half-ounce lead weight, the tungsten weight will be significantly smaller because in general tungsten is 30% more dense than lead. So that becomes very important. The problem with tungsten is that it's quite expensive, and I think Avid Bass may have a solution for us with that. One of the things that's frustrating with tungsten weights is that when you go to buy them, they tend to be in very small packs of 2 or packs of 3, usually no more than that, and they're extremely expensive, and you're forced to buy several packs if you want more than that at the same crazy price. Well, Avid Bass has got tungsten weights that are available for a better price, primarily because they're offering a higher quantity. You don't just have to buy a pack of 2 or 3, you can buy a pack of 5, you can buy a pack of 10, and so you're going to get better pricing as a result. And as a bass fisherman, you definitely need to have more than 2 or 3 of these weights, and you need to have them in several different sizes, different weight categories. So I think Avid Bass is very smart in what they're offering, and I think it's going to pay off handsomely for them. Let's take a look at some of the things that were sent to me. So I've got some different worm weights here. Here is a red worm weight. This is I believe a 5/16 ounce. Very good quality. I believe the maker of this is actually Vike. They make a lot of tungsten weight products, and they're good quality. Here is a green pumpkin tungsten flipping weight, and this is a half-ounce weight. Now, one of the things about tungsten is sometimes some of the cheaper brands, you have to be careful because this is always a concern for me. The hole that's on the front of the weight, if it's not good quality, sometimes you can have chips in there or it could actually be sharp. And as a result, when you're fishing and you're setting the hook and pulling your bait through grass and cover, it can end up starting to be abrasive to your line. The next thing you know, your line can start getting nicks in it and it could break your line. And that's happened to me in the past. So one of my biggest concerns with tungsten weights is making sure I have the quality that won't be breaking my line. So generally I use 15 to 20 pound tests when I'm fishing worms and grass and that kind of thing, and that's what this application would be. So one of the things, I already did this, I'll do it again here in the camera, is I just want to rub this line very abrasively along this front opening, all along this opening in this flipping weight, and see how the line takes it. See if it can take the abuse. You can see I'm rubbing it around there really hard. And now what I'm going to do is just feel for nicks in the line. There are no nicks. This is a very high quality worm weight. I just ripped the heck out of it. Now the line is kinked, but that's only because I've stretched the line along the head of that weight. But there is no nick in the line. Therefore, this particular weight has passed my test. It's a good quality weight. Now you can look online for yourself. I've already compared prices between the Avid Bass tackle worm weights and flipping weights compared to a lot of the other tackle stores that are either online or at the shops that you can go to. And I can tell you that Avid Bass has got a better price and the quality is just as good. Here's another product that Avid Bass is offering. This is a jig head. It's an Arky style jig head, which is one of the ones I like because it has a really good rocking motion when it's on the bottom. It also, even as it falls, it tends to have a rocking motion. Just want to make sure that you can see the jig, so we'll put that out in front of my hand. And this is a high quality item here. It's got a very good fiber weed guard. The hook is incredibly sharp. I cannot get it across my thumb. The head itself has a keeper for putting a skirt on there, a silicone skirt, and then it has a keeper for any soft plastic or anything else that you might want to thread onto this. So this, you can make a very nice jig out of this, and it's very high quality. The point is good. The eye of the hook, I like the position of that. The angle is correct. So again, and just to give you an idea, you can get a 5-pack of these for $16.95 through Avid Bass. And on one of the competitor websites, I found a 3-pack for $16.49. So I can get 2 more for a few cents more through Avid Bass. So again, good quality. Quality is just as good, better in some cases, and the price is very, very reasonable. Here are some football head jigs. Hopefully you can see these pretty well. Again, they have a very nice fiber guard. They have a good line tie. They've got plenty of room for a silicone skirt, and they also have the keeper here for any soft plastic or any other trailer that you may want to put on there. Again, we'll check the hook out here. It's very sharp. You can hear it digging into my nail, and that's what I want. So again, a really nice bait here. This football head, and remember now, all these that I'm showing you are tungsten, is $13.95 for a 5-pack, which is a very good price and better than what you're going to find on the market. What I'm starting to realize as I've been going through these products that Avid Bass has sent me is that they're probably going to become very quickly a one-stop shop experience for me, at least when it comes to terminal tackle, because I think they're going to have what I'm going to want and at the good prices and at a good quality. So I'm looking forward to buying items from Avid. That was my cat. So I still want to test these on the water, and right now all these items that I'm going over I'll be testing on the water, but I don't have that opportunity at the moment. The weather has not been cooperating. Between getting all the snow and ice and sleet and having the cold nights and my schedule just not allowing me to fish, it's been difficult for me to get out very often. But that will soon be changing. It can't be too long before the weather starts taking a turn to become warmer. And when it does, I'll be getting out on the water and fishing a lot of these different baits. And I'll look forward to showing you how they perform. Here's another really cool item that I got from Avid Bass. This is a bladed jig. or otherwise known as a chatterbait. It just comes with the components. It comes with the blade, the split ring, the jig head itself, and a good snap. And then you just put the thing together by yourself, no big deal. And this is a very high quality jig head here. I really like it. It's got good eyes. Again, this is tungsten, and the hook is incredibly sharp. I can't even get close to getting that across my thumbnail. So I don't even need to sharpen the hooks when I buy these. So this is a 3/8 ounce bladed jig setup, and the price for this is you get a 10 pack of this for $23.95. Now that's tungsten, so that's an incredibly good price for what you're getting. And the jig head itself, again, has a nice piece here so that you can easily put a silicone skirt on there, and it's got a keeper for your trailer. I can't wait to throw some different things on this thing. This is going to be one of the first things I fish, because at this time of the year now, we're coming into spring. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there here. And a chatterbait is a good bait to throw at that time of year. So Avid is also selling fully dressed jigs with the silicone skirts. Here's one that has an archy head to it. Very nice jig. I really like the look of that. I'm looking forward to using these products. Again, all of them have a very good keeper on there. This is another archy style. Here's a weed jig. This has got more of the bullet shaped head, so this is be better in the weeds, but again, it's got the same trailer keeper. You can get different size jigs with different size hooks. The neat thing about tungsten is you can get these smaller jigs but still have a heavier tungsten head than it would be versus lead, so it can get down a little deeper for the size of the jig. Here's a football head jig with looks like a peanut butter and jelly type of skirt on it. This is a very good color on my area earlier in the year, coming into this time of year actually. So good football head here. Again, it's got the keeper for the trailer. Good quality stuff, good quality components. It's got the fiber weed guard, and you can see again very sharp hooks. You can also get the jig heads like this. This is a good weed jig here, just without the silicone skirt. And you can just put your own on. Save some money this way, especially if you're, a lot of people buy jigs and they just change the skirts out anyway to what they prefer. So it's good that Avid Bass offers it in this form. They're also offering these tungsten drop shot weights in various sizes. These look very good. They have a nice swivel on them so it won't twist your line, and they got a good keeper for your line. You just put the line in and you just slip it up and it holds the line. But if you do get stuck, it'll slip and the weight will come off and you won't lose your bait. So that's the purpose of this style drop shot weight. So for those of you who like to fish under spins like this, but you might have an application where you have heavy weed cover, Avid Bass has a solution for that. And here it is. It's a very simple variation of the underspin. It's got a tungsten weight, so again, a smaller size weight for the actual weight of the hook. And it's a very simple thing to use. It's got this keeper. You just screw this into the nose of the bait, and then you would thread the hook over and through and Texas rig it, and then you have a weedless version of the underspin. So it's a really nice way to throw an underspin style bait in weed cover, or even bushes or other type of cover where you wouldn't be able to throw this bait without getting hung up. The other nice thing about this, again, very high quality stuff here. High quality ball bearing swivel here. The nice thing about the blade is you can change the size of the blade if you wish. I actually like the smaller size blade. But so I look forward to fishing this this summer especially. This gives you a little bit of a different look when you're throwing swim baits into heavy cover. And the last thing that I'd like to show you today that I got are some punch rig weights. Again, all this is tungsten. The price on these is very good. You can get some of these smaller weights. I believe this is probably ½ ounce here. I think this is a ½ ounce weight. This is a much heavier weight, as you can see. And you can get them with skirts like this. You could also just buy the weight like this, and you can put your own skirt on there and create your own punch rig. So that's kind of also nice. You can customize however you want to do it. But again, top quality stuff. Checking for The opening here, very smooth. It's not going to cut your line. Looking forward to fishing this. Generally, when I'm fishing worm weights, I like to peg the weight to the hook, to the bait that I'm fishing, and these little pegs will do that for you. So sometimes people like to fish them unpegged, where it slides, the weight slides freely up and down the line, and some people like to fish it where you're pegging it. I think there's applications for both methods. They also have the biggest selection that I've seen of 3D lure eyes that you can buy for your hard lures. And they have something else that I'm going to be buying, and that is Tungsten Putty. It's a tin of 20 grams of tungsten putty. And you can use this putty to do a lot of things with your baits. You can tweak your lures. We're coming into the time of the year where a suspending jerkbait is one of the best things you can throw. And one of the things that happens with suspending baits is they don't always suspend under all different conditions. When the water temperature is very cold, for example, the water has a different density than when it's warmer. And so a bait that may suspend in summer might not in winter, and vice versa. So by having this tungsten putty, you can strategically place this putty on some of your baits so that it'll suspend the way you want it to. Maybe you want the bait to be nose down. Maybe you want the bait to suspend or turn nose up. With this type of tungsten putty, you can experiment and make the bait do exactly what you want it to do. A very good advantage when it comes to fishing for bass especially. So folks, you just saw a lot of the stuff that Avid Bass is now offering. Check out their website. I think you'll be surprised at what they're offering now and the pricing that you can get, especially their tungsten products. And check it out and let me know what you think. Let me know what your experience is with Avid Bass. But I think for me, they're going to become one of my one-stop shops for terminal type tackle. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the review of Avid Bass tackle samples that I received. If you like what we're doing on this channel, please hit that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. If you're new to my channel, please share the channel with your friends. Any comments that you have would be truly appreciated. I will respond back. And I look forward to getting out soon and fishing with some of these products. God bless your fishing endeavors.